One sector. After demonetization, the NBFC space got hit, but has normalcy returned? Umesh Revankar, the MD of Shriram Transport Finance, joins us now to talk about that. Mr. Revankar, good morning. Amidst the many issues we want to discuss, we want to first start by asking you about whether normalcy has returned to the industry post the demonetization impact.
As of now, it looks as if normalcy is back, and January was the 1 month post the new currency being totally part of the system. And by February, we are seeing enough liquidity. And the cash component, which was a major repayment for us till maybe the post prior to demonetization, slowly is coming down. And after reaching bottom, then again we are seeing some increase in cash component. So I feel this is a clear picture of where the people have adopted to the new situation, where there is a certain amount of check transaction, certain amount of banking transaction, and certain amount of cash transaction. So people are getting adjusted to that. And overall, individual truckers, individual operators who were predominantly preferred to deal with cash are today getting into both equally comfortably, because they are also encouraging the transporter to pay them in check, and they are in turn paying us in check or through digital mode. So there is some kind of comfort with our customers and comfort with us.
Yeah. So, Mr. Revankar, would you say life in February and say mid-Jan to mid-Feb is as cool as October, or are we still getting there?
I should say we are getting there because there are several factors that has happened. Now the agri produce, which were not fully sold in the month of November, December, due to lack of cash, is getting sold, and the prices are also slowly becoming better. And the rural economy, which was little taken a shock of the cash not being there, today coming to a normalcy, and the demand in the rural sector is slowly increasing. So what happens is that truckers need a two-side load to move from rural to urban, urban to rural. If there are two-side loads are full, then his earning becomes much better. So I feel that situation is slowly coming, and I think we are moving towards, because as we move towards April, because April is the time you get another big cycle of season of the harvesting, that is a big crop. So as he moves there, again the demand from the rural will go up, because April, May is the peak harvesting for wheat and many other rabi crops. I think his cycle will be almost complete by April, May. So I think the truckers are feeling comfortable in the new situation.
Okay, Mr. Revankar, on account of the MCLR cut that we saw by the banks, how much could your own cost of funds fall further over the next, say, 1 to 2 quarters, and what kind of positive impact could this have on your margins?
Yeah, see, we did not have the total benefit as of now. Slowly we are getting the benefit, because most of our borrowing is relatively long term. We borrow 3 years plus. We normally don't borrow short. We don't have much reliance on the CP at all, because we always would like to have a good ALM management. So the MCLR coming down is slowly getting replaced our old borrowing. And last quarter we had a small benefit, and this quarter I think the Jan to March we should be getting around 20 basis point advantage, and next 2 quarters maybe another 20 basis point. So overall we should be getting around 35 to 40 basis point advantage from the last quarter to next maybe 2 to 3 quarters. So that should help us in the margin. But at the meantime, February and March, we are witnessing a big demand for new vehicle financing. mainly because of the BS4 implementation. So there is a likelihood of our lending more to new vehicle, because most of the proposal in the pipeline, we are seeing a new vehicle demand, and customer also wanting to move towards new vehicle. So new vehicle will probably may not give us the best yield. That's so the overall our margins will remain at the same level, but it will help us in increasing the growth.
Actually, that's exactly what I was going to ask you, margins and growth. You know, ultimately demonetization will be a transitory factor. So if you can tell us for FY17, for the current year, what is likely to be the loan growth over last year? And because you're speaking about BS4, if you can give us some idea of how the loan growth will be in FY18. Separately, margins as well.
Yeah, see, this quarter we are witnessing, this quarter mean February and March, I am witnessing good demand for new vehicles. So our growth should be around 15% AUM over the previous year. For the 17-18, I feel the first 6 months will be a little low growth scenario, mainly because the GST is around and nobody is sure how the price of the vehicle will play around, whether it is the increase or reduce, or when it will be getting implemented. That's one scenario. And second, there will be already a pre-buying. So fresh sales in April to June, July period will be much lower. And monsoon also will have some impact. So first 6 months, the demand will be lower for a new vehicle. And thereby it will also reduce the demand for used vehicle to some extent, because people don't change hand. So post October, the demand should come, and I expect the demand should be much higher, because if the monsoon is good, because already we had a very good Kharif crop and like a very good Rabi crop. So back on that, if you have another good monsoon, it will have a demand getting picked up in the rural sector, and the government is also putting a lot of emphasis on infrastructure. And right now the government expenditure and government infrastructure push is very high, and I feel that will create a demand. But the demand should come more into the construction equipment and the dumper category in the month of April, May. And post-October, the growth should be very good. So we should be able to maintain around 14-15% AUM growth next year also, if the monsoon is good.
All right. Point.